You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children— Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to—
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high!
Then I ask you, Miss Furina, just what have you been working on? Where—
My machinations are just like the
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell—
an emergency response plan?
Oh, that look in your—
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Furina, and what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of
The Oratrice? It's just like—
So you also have no idea. If I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the— But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvellette.
yeah, yes.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Furina, you seem— Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. You too, but—
Thank you. Oh, Paimon.
If it's on my—
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Furina. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day?
Very well. Will—
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss—
Paimon's coming too.
The tea party turned out to be even more difficult than I'd imagined. Why are you looking at me like that? Is something the matter? If there's nothing urgent, then I shall be retiring for now.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just—
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth, as the— That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no—
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight—
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others. By the way, and you can just consider this a— You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an— I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with that?
No need. I need to meet with Furina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Furina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so anything left unguarded is usually just bait. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that—
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me! I'm begging you, please!
the fear in her pupils is genuine. So perhaps she's not bait after all. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Furina dares not Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Furina There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis—
Yes, Father.
My dear children—
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that,
Probably the handiwork—
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most— Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydra— Oh, and I have an—
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make— The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be a— You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you. It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Furina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts it. Of course, that is all just how I feel. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many seek— Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly.
Neuvillette?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. Thank you for protecting Furina. To put it simply, I used my power— So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Furina. She's— Permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be. You can't tell us?
If by the phrase, "you guys," you are referring to Furina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her— I believe so. The fortress has a long and And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon
Please do not be so...
Neverlet! Neverlet, are you listening?
My...
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did...
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
Right, of course. There's...
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the Dragon Sovereign of Water, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater...
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the... They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is...
There are 7 elemental archons...
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way.
Oh, so even you...
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay... We'll see you another time.
Take care.